Welcome to Blissful Living, a podcast for those of us who are ready to ditch the life clutter and negative vibes so that we can embrace our true potential and live our best lives. I'm Ashley Nicoposta, an interior designer, blogger, author, and most recently a new mom doing my best to figure out how to balance it all and follow my bliss. Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Bliss Vibes Only podcast. My name is Ashlina, and I will be your host today talking about all things blissful. Although I'm not feeling totally blissful, I have been really sick in the last week. I don't know what it is. There's something going around, and I think every time Roman comes home from school and he's got a bug or carrying something, Jared and I both get sick, and it's always like harder on us than it is on him. It's so funny. So I'm kind of recovering. I'm also have just finished all of my courses for the Texas real estate. And I will just tell you that is no small feat. It is a lot to become a real estate agent and a broker, anything really in that world. It's a lot of information. It is a lot of learning. I feel like I've been through a year's worth of school. I'm looking at my textbooks right now and going, I cannot believe I read all of this in less than 3 weeks. I did it really intensely. I did it just back to back to back, and I've just like long days and studying a lot. And it's been an interesting experience kind of going back to school and learning the law and regulations and just all of these things, but it's incredibly exciting. And it really has me thinking about what I want to talk to you guys about today, because I want to talk to you about the mind and manifesting and your intuition and just kind of the process of knowing if you want to manifest something and you want to create something in your life, you've got to get your mind in the right spot, but you also want to trust your intuition. And how do you know all of these things? How can we really practice in living our best life and, making the right decisions and moving forward in the direction that we want? So that's what I'm going to talk about today. I recently wrote a blog post, so you'll have to go check out the blog, and I will link this in the show notes. But I recently wrote a blog post about my tips for manifesting. So I'll talk a little bit about those today too, but this is going to be really bringing it home, because that's what we do here on this podcast, right? We talk about our home, we talk about ourselves, our home within, and just kind of like how that goes hand in hand. So I'm going to talk about how to get your home aligned, how to get your mind aligned so that we can manifest our best lives. Okay, so let's get into our prayer. Dear God, universe, all that is, let's just be really grateful today. Let's just sit in gratitude today and be really appreciative of our lives and really appreciative that the people that we love and the people that we're close to are in our lives. And we're so grateful for those relationships, and we're so grateful for our friendships and our loved ones and our children and our jobs and our homes, and just the ability to wake up every day and live a day of passion and a day of bliss. Fill our hearts with love and gratitude and peace and wisdom. Amen. Okay, so something interesting I read recently? I read that the words amen, back in the day, they used to really symbolize like, and it is done. So whenever you would say amen, you would solidify out to the gods, like to the universe, that whatever you said, it is done. And it helped, these old ways of thinking, it just helped them really believe. And what they would do when they would say amen is they would internally, like in their mind, just let it go. They would let every stress or everything they just prayed for, they would let their thoughts completely go at the moment that they said amen. They wouldn't hold on or try to force things or make anything happen. Like they knew it was in the hands of God and they had turned it over and it was done, which is such a cool thing that it just kind of came up for me, especially as we're talking about manifesting and talking about, creating the life that we want. A big part of it is really, letting things go, like trusting our cares and our worries over to something. That's why one of the principles of manifestation that I shared was having a spiritual practice, because when you have a spiritual practice for yourself, it's much easier to turn over your worries and your cares to something else or someone else that can really take them on for you. So it's really a co-creative universe. And I think if you listen to this podcast, then you get it and you're in the flow with that. So just remember that. If you have not been participating in your spiritual practice or really nurturing it, maybe you want to spend a little time doing that. It's really, really important. It's funny. So I am currently obsessed with Architectural Digest. I'm actually looking at the calendar they sent me right now. I decided to get myself a subscription because when I was 12 years old, I don't know if I have mentioned this on the podcast before, but there has just been this time for me where I've been really connecting to my past. And when I was about 11 or 12 years old, my mom used to have Architectural Digests in the bathroom, and my bathroom was the guest bathroom, and so she would always have a stack of magazines in the bathroom that people could look at when they came over and they were in the bathroom. So when I was little, I would go in there and I would always look at the Architectural Digest magazines. I was obsessed. And this one time I found this layout, and it was an architectural space plan for a home. And it was this really gorgeous, beautiful home. And it was called the Ashley. And I was obsessed. So I cut it out and I made my mom take me to the store, and I got this big poster board, and I drew out the floor plan on the poster board, and then I went through catalogs in the mail and the neighbor's mail, and I asked the neighbors obviously, but just got collected a bunch of furniture catalogs, and I would go through and I would cut out all the furniture and accessories and different things, and I would cut out pictures of people and give them names, and I would fully design a space on a poster board, and it was my favorite thing to do. And I was so young, and it's so funny to look back at those things that you do when you're little and go, oh my gosh, that someone should have said right then and there, you should be an interior designer. That's what you should do. But, it was just so different then. Nobody really encouraged that stuff in terms of what you should do as a career. But it's funny when you go back and you have those moments of things you used to do when you were young. So anyway, I've always loved Architectural Digest, and I've been looking at this calendar, and they have all of these gorgeous spaces. And I know this coming month in the March, so not the February issue, but in the March issue, they are highlighting Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's home that they've spent years building. It's something that they've been doing forever, and it's a big deal. And what's really cool about it is they used Axel, I don't know how to say his last name, but Axel Volvoort. And he is this Belgian designer that is I have been obsessed with him for years. He is this designer that does all of these gorgeous homes and architectural spaces that are really, really minimal. But they're almost too minimal, I think, for American living. So I don't know that many people really relate to his, kind of design. But I have a couple of his books. They're absolutely stunning. They're the big design, amazing books. And he just has such an incredible view of design and architecture. But anyhow, he designs, and I know that the intentional design behind Kim and Kanye's home is this Wabi-Sabi sort of method or philosophy. And what's interesting about that is it is an aspect of feng shui. And in feng shui, there are 5 elements, okay? Wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. And Wabi-Sabi is the water part. It's the fifth element. It is the final kind of element of the season. It kind of holds and ties everything together. So it's really interesting. Because what I want to talk to you guys about today is why your home is your secret weapon to all of your wildest dreams and your manifestations, right? All right, so let's get into it. So, talking about the Wabi-Sabi method, it's this very like minimal approach. And so if you think of the element of water, you kind of think like moving water, so kind of fluid lines, a lot of open space for energy. But the energy of the water element, the Wabi-Sabi kind of way, it provides space for stillness and reflection. It's like it's an energy of like nurturing yourself. Like when you're thirsty, you drink water, right? It's like when you get into the water, you feel clean, you feel refreshed. People get baptized in the water. There's this like rejuvenation and this full like nourishment of self when you kind of like enhance yourself with that water energy. So when you're living that, when your home is full of that water energy, it is like the ultimate recipe for that rejuvenation and rest. And that's what their home really looks like. It's very spacious. It's all one color. It just feels like this very fluid, quiet space. And I guess if you were someone like that who had, a lot of kids, they've got like 4 children, they've got themselves, and I'm sure they have a lot of friends and family around and camera crew and security guards and just a lot of people, a lot of energy, a lot of hectic energy. It's interesting because that water energy, that wabi-sabi, type of design would be perfect for all of that chaos and that movement of people and things. And, they would need that sort of place for the rest of their lives. Whereas most of us, that would not really work for us because we need that, we need to bring some fire and strength and all of these other energies into our home because we don't have 35 people in and out of our home every day. So it's just really interesting. Another interesting thing is that the water element creates wealth and opportunities. So what they have also done is just put themselves even more in that energetic alignment for wealth, for opportunity, for growth, for expansion, all that. So it's really, really interesting to see how that works because I would say they probably are one of the wealthiest homes in our country, if not the world. I mean, right? So it's just really interesting. And I use this point to really drive home the fact that your home and your environment is everything when it comes to the way that we live and the way that we live our lives. So I want you guys to know that for 2020, I am going to be pouring as much as I can into you, teaching you about how to set up your home to create your dreams and to, set up for the life that you want. And I have been working my butt off creating these courses for you and workbooks and, all of this content for you because I don't know, it's my heart to teach. It's my heart to help. It is just in me. It is in my soul to help create these things because I am so passionate about it and I've spent so much time studying it. It's what I love to do. So thank you for always listening and thank you for being here for me. And I will say my readership, or the listenership, I have noticed that these episodes, January of 2020, had literally 5 times more downloads than any month ever. It's insane. So I just want you to know if you're here, I really appreciate your listenership. Please continue to rate and review and, let me know how you feel about it. I love sharing this stuff. Okay, so anyway, let's get back to what I want to talk to you about today. Okay, so we know, I've talked to you guys about this before, we know that feng shui, feng equals the wind and moving energy, and shui, that word translates to water, which is flowing fortune, water, like opportunities, wealth, all that things. So basically your feng shui is the wind, the direction of that moving energy and how it is moving that flowing fortune to you or away from you. Your home is the dictator. And not necessarily just the dictator, but it's like the way that you relate to your home, the way that you feel in your home, that experience is what is dictating whether things are flowing toward you or whether things are flowing away from you. And it's kind of like how that is navigated. So you want your relationship with your home to be unblocked and positive. And within the home, you've got the Bagua, which is the 9 directions, or really it's the 8 directions, but like the 9 kind of areas of life. And so if you go to my website, if you haven't already, make sure you're downloading your Bagua map. Make sure you know in your home where your home is according to the map and what areas of life are represented by that, because there's going to be an exercise that we're going to do today that I want you to go home and try out, and you need to do that. So I will link a place for you in the show notes that you can go download it. You can also go to Google and Google Feng Shui Bagua, the Western, like there's the Western way, and it will show you a map. And in this map, it's broken down into these squares. Now they can kind of be confusing. That's kind of why I want you to download the one that I have for you on my website. But they're basically squares, and they are the 9 different areas of life, right? There's like love and relationships, creativity and children, there's fame and reputation, your wealth and abundance, your money, and it keeps going. So what I'm going to have you do today is I want you to check out what areas of your life are blocked and in a negative flow. Okay, because this is a big deal. And I want you guys to practice this as you are getting my ebooks and workbooks, because these workshops that I'm bringing for you, the one that I have this month in February is love, and it is going to be all about Feng Shui and setting up your space for bringing love into your life. Or if you're not in a relationship, it will be about, and you don't want one, it will not be about bringing another, but really enhancing your self-love and your self-worth and your relationship with yourself. It will be, if you want to create a relationship or you want to call in your soulmate, it will also help you call in all that self-love so that you can call in your soulmate with ease. Or it will help you pull in all that self-love and that relationship with yourself so that you can enhance the relationship that you are in. You want your relationship to keep growing stronger, to keep getting better, to keep, growing and becoming more alive and passionate and all of those things. Or if you need to leave a relationship, this will help you cultivate your love within and your strength so that you can move on and find the new partner for you. It will work in any area that you want or any kind of love that you want. And the foundation of it is cultivating that love. So that's going to be this February workshop. And then in March, I'm going to do one for business, and we're going to talk about success and your career and that way. So every month or every couple of months, I will be creating these new workshops to go with the different areas of your life. So today, what you can do is take this exercise I'm going to give you and figure out what areas are blocked. Now we can always, I am offering now, I think I have been for a while, but I'm sure since you've been listening to this podcast, but I've brought back doing one-on-one virtual feng shui consultations. I have been doing them up a storm, and I am just loving them so much. This is such a passion of mine, but I'll put it in the show notes. You can contact me and we can do a private one-on-one if you really want to get some help and figure out what areas of your life you're looking to unblock and get unstuck. Okay? So let's get back to the chart, back to the Bagua, your 9 areas. So what I want you to do when you get home today or at the end of your day, I want you to take that map home and I want you to locate the different areas of your home. Okay? And I want you to see which area goes with which part of your life. So in what area is your love and relationship corner? In what area is your abundance and wealth corner? And what area is your career path? Okay. And locate your 2 most clutter-filled areas of your home and check them out and see how they're relating to the current status of that life area. So let's say you go to the abundance and wealth area of your home, you figure it out, and it happens to be like a closet or something. And you go into that closet and you notice, like, okay, that's a pretty cluttered, outdated, junky, blah, blah, blah closet. And you're wondering, you know what, maybe I have had some blocks in my finances, or maybe there's something there that I'm not getting to bust through. Are you able to pull in the money that you're looking for? Are you able to charge enough for yourself of the things that you're doing? Do you feel like money is draining out of you? Like there's so many bills, or things are piling up, or these things keep happening. It should be very well represented in the way that your home is, and especially around clutter. And this is why I want to talk to you about why clutter is killing your manifestation process, because the different areas of your home, if there's clutter in that area, it will block the manifestations in that area of your life. So I want you to really pay attention. There are literally so many books out there. You could probably go to the bookstore, and there are many called Declutter Your Home, like Change Your Life, or, and these books go into why, and they go into the areas, and they don't probably get as feng shui specific about it, but they do tell you things like, if your pantry is cluttered, your health is probably off. If your closet is cluttered, your confidence is probably off. There are so many different areas that translate to a personal area of our life. So make sure that you are aware and you know where your clutter is, where your blocks are. And all you need to do is know. All you need to do is be aware. And then once we're aware, we can actually begin to take the baby steps to unblock these parts of our lives and start making faster manifestation processes. I will just say this because I do think in 2020, I feel like I am just manifesting on fire, and it has become so fast for me, almost too fast, that I can't even keep up with all the things that are happening. I feel super grateful and super blessed. That's why I'm really trying to stay in that gratitude mindset. But a lot is happening fast. I think 2020 is just bringing that strong, like, metal energy. And those energies are really important to remember because, metal is really about beautifying things. It's really about getting things in order and beautifying them and making everything better. So this year is going to be about, for everyone's life, making things more beautiful and making things better, making whatever your life is into something like gold, right? It's anything you touch will turn to gold. And that's how this year should go for you, for all of us. So we really have to harness these things. We really have to make sure we are doing our part and, putting our effort into creating the beautiful life that we want to live and making sure that energy is flowing and things are going well. So don't forget, today is going to be like declutter day. I would like to be your like queen of decluttering and help you. And you can start small. So for example, if there's a closet, or if it's a bathroom or a particular area that needs to be decluttered, but it's overwhelming or you're not really wanting to get there yet, just start with something small. It could be just a couple products, or maybe just a pair of shoes that you're probably never going to wear again, or they're outdated, they're no longer functioning, or like for me, I have some heels that are just incredibly too high. There's no way I would wear them, but I love them so much. But it's something that is in my home that is not going forward into the life that I want, into who I want to be. There's shoes that are outdated for me, so I need to get rid of them. So start looking at things like that. It doesn't have to be doing a whole decluttering session. Just start going little thing by little thing and pay attention to where a lot of your clutter sits and what area of life could that be affecting. Okay, so I'm just going to leave you with that for today. Just this clutter trick that we're going to start and just pick an area or two of your life that you notice you have the most clutter and see how it relates. And if you guys want, please feel free to either email me or reach out to me on Instagram and tell me about your areas. Like, let's open it up for discussion. You can also come hang out in the Blissful Living Lounge, the Facebook group. I love chatting in there too. So any way that you want, reach out to me. I love giving feedback and I love hearing feedback too. So with that, my beautiful friends, have an amazing day. Go declutter your life. And until we meet again, stay blissful.